For Louisiana versus all y'all, Jarrett Roser out at Central High School, where DK Mays will make his college commitment announcement on Saturday, one of the top rising senior defensive linemen in the state, and he's got his final seven. We're going to talk about those schools, what stood out about each, and DK, the recruiting process overall and getting to this point. I know you're excited about Saturday. Just kind of talk me through the emotions now and the final days leading up to a big decision.
It's a dream come true. When I was little, I always wanted to, go to college, and everybody told me, I wouldn't be able to make it or I wouldn't be able to do it. So, it's a blessing from God, to be gifted with this talent. It's just a blessing that, I can make my dream come true now.
The seven schools, we've got an in-state school in Tulane, a few SEC schools in Mississippi State, Texas A&M, and Missouri. TCU and Houston are involved, as well as Georgia Tech out east. And I mentioned we're going to get into each of those kind of briefly, but this process has been a long one for you. You talk about the childhood dream, the realization, and you started getting offers, over a year ago. What has the process been like overall, just kind of sorting through your visits, your offers, and figuring out what were going to be factors that were the biggest priority for you in an ultimate decision?
The communication part was the biggest one. Some schools, they kept in contact with me almost every day. They called me, text me, and some of them, they gave me an offer, but they really didn't have the communication part, and like the players on the team, when I took these visits, I had time, I spent time with the players, talk to them and see like how they think about the coaches, how they feel about the program, and literally, I feel like every school have a great education part, but it was really like the mainly part for me was the communication part with the coaches.
Whoever the school is on Saturday that you announce as, not just a member of your top seven, but your top one and your future home, what do fans need to know they're getting from DK Mays eventually when you make your way there?
Sure. You getting a guy who works hard, stay focused, always on the go, always, never satisfied, always hungry. Where I come from, you always got to be hungry, so you're getting a dog.
And what ended up, we're not announcing the actual decision now, but what made the school stand out among, you mentioned these seven all kind of stood out from the full list for certain reasons. Yeah. Was there something that kind of gave whoever that final one is that last edge over a great group overall?
Yes, sir, they did. It was really the communication part with them, and what they're doing now. They building things over there, and I want to be a part of it.
Let's start with the in-state school to top off the list. Louisiana fans obviously know Tulane and some of the trajectory they've had in recent years, but a new coaching staff with Coach Summerall, some holdovers from the Fritz staff, some new faces. Coach Schexnayder, a guy that you know from when he was at Mississippi State and offered you back there. What has stood out about the Green Wave through this process?
Coach Wook, as soon as he came in, I think I was one of the top D linemen he came to see during spring. So it was a good guy, good coach. And, Coach Summerall, I talked to him when he was at Troy University. That was my third offer. So when he came to Tulane, that was more closer. I visited Tulane like 2 times. Now, I like the vibe they get over there and what they're building over there.
And then the staff that was at Tulane, Willie Fritz and some of those key members heading from Uptown out to Houston. Houston has made a big effort to recruit Louisiana because of some of those connections, and they're one of your final seven. I know you were just out there recently as well with one of your more recent visits. What stood out about the Cougars?
Once they went to Houston, they started recruiting me harder. They started recruiting the boot harder. They got something called Bayou, I think. And they were trying to recruit as many people from the boot, and it's really like the connections with them too. Like they keep connections with really most of the players they offer. Like they just don't offer and just don't communicate with them, but they build relationships with them. And
one of the more recent offers, because some of these offers have been long-standing, but TCU came and visited this spring, and the Horned Frogs have really come on strong and become a part of this equation for you. Another one of your real recent visits just a couple weeks ago. They're another program that historically has recruited Louisiana very well. They have a couple of offensive line commits in your class from Louisiana. What has stood out about the Horned Frogs? What do you think makes them be so successful recruiting Louisiana and potentially adding you?
Right. TCU is a great school. I remember Coach Jamarcus, and the rest of the staff, two coaches from the staff came down here during the spring to visit me. Had a workout session with them, and it went good. They offered me, and since then we've been having a close bond, a tight bond too. I mean, then when I went up there on my official visit, the bond just got stronger and stronger. So, and also they building a championship program up there too. That's what I also like. I mean, it's just the program is amazing.
We'll roll through some of those SEC schools. Missouri, I'll ask about first because I know Josh Lewis, a guy that you know from in the area down at Dutchtown, he's committed to the Tigers, and you guys had kind of talked. Y'all have a lot of offers in common, and it kind of been on Twitter talking about could we end up playing together at the next level. How big is that relationship, and what else stands out about Mizzou to have them be one of your finalists?
Man, Josh, man, he one of my day ones, we both was in the same position. We wouldn't even think we'll make it to this position, but it's a blessing. It's a dream come true. And Coach Early, he came and visited me during the spring. I like what they doing up there.
Mississippi State was the first SEC offer when things really started to pick up momentum for you initially. They've had some changes to that staff. I mentioned Coach Sexsnyder is now down at Tulane, but a great SEC opportunity, just one state over, not too far of a drive. What has stood out about the Bulldogs that has them in the mix?
Really Coach Coleman. He coached like top tier D linemen. Like if you see his past, Chris Jones, one of the best D linemen in the NFL. So if you go to Mississippi State, you know what you're getting from him. He know what he's talking about. He know what he's doing up there.
The third SEC program, Texas A&M, one state over the other direction, another program that has tried to recruit Louisiana at a really high level. What has stood out about the Aggies, a team that's been kind of right there, nipping at the top of the SEC and recruiting really well, trying to get over that hump?
Yeah, when a new staff came in, Coach Bateman, he hit me up, all the new defensive staff, they hit me up. Really, they building something special over there too. Like it's a new era going through there. Coach Erkro, he building something special.
And then rounding out the list, you have Georgia Tech in the top 7. I know there was a Coach Coleman out there who had initially recruited you, and he's since moved on, if I'm not mistaken.
Sure.
Coach Brumfield, though, has been there, a Louisiana native who's recruited particularly New Orleans at a high level, and so there is some Louisiana flavor out there. Tell me about the Yellow Jackets and just kind of what that relationship has been like overall through the process and where they are right now for you.
Yes, sir. When Coach Coleman was there, we had a great connection. He literally was one of the only D-line coach who called me every day, FaceTime me and everything. They built something special up there too. But you can feel it. You can just look at it and tell with the new staff they got coming in. I really like it.
So we'll be out here again Saturday. You'll make the actual announcement. It's open to community members, folks to come support and show love. What is the actual announcement going to look like? Are we doing a hat thing? Are you giving a big speech? Is there a video? Just kind of talk us through when we show up on Saturday, what are folks expecting?
I think the hat thing, played out now. So I'm going to do a speech, thank everybody for coming and all that. Then I got a 4.5 minute video. It's going to talk about everything, and at the end, people are going to be shocked.
Anything more you want to share before we kind of close it out and just wait and see what happens on Saturday? Any final messages to your fans here in the Central community, your teammates and coaches, or anybody watching at home?
Yes, sir. Thank y'all for supporting me, and, supporting me through tough times. Without y'all, I probably wouldn't be here, but thank y'all.
Again, he's DK Mays at Central High School, one of the top rising senior defensive linemen in Louisiana's 2025 class. Has a big announcement on tap for Saturday out here at Central High. And for Louisiana vs. All y'all, Jared Roser.